Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Joe's C8 Garage. Today we're going to be dealing with a problem that some of you may or may not have. The people that may have this problem are people with a clear engine cover in the engine bay on the hard top convertible. And what I mean by that is, let me show you what I'm talking about. So James White, who is freaking awesome, made me the coolest clear cover, 1/4 inch. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. But here's what I don't love about it. Sometimes when you're washing the car, so the vent that's on top, which is here, water goes down and it drains out. It's supposed to do that. But sometimes if you use a pressure washer, a little bit will get under here and you'll get some water spots underneath. And to be honest with you, to take off all these T15s, it's kind of a pain in the nuts just to get some water spots out. So what I'm attempting to do, I'm gonna close this up, is make a solution for this. I am going to make a temporary cover to go over that little vent while I'm washing the car. Stay tuned, I'm going to show you how. All right, so here's what it ends up looking like. I did a double seam here, well, one seam, but I overlapped it, and basically just tucking it in as much as you can. The gravity and weight of the silicone will help push it in. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. The whole purpose of this is to get a gelatinous type rubberish material just to put over that so that when you pressure wash or clean your car with a hose, you don't get that backsplash underneath. So that's what it looks like. I taped it off. I also put saran wrap here just in case anything drips. I just don't want it getting all over the paint. Or the PPF, because I know some of you worry about, you did that on top of your car. I got PPF on it. Guys, chill the hell out. Anyways, I'm going to start putting this on. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So if you don't know how to use caulk, if you don't know how to use your caulk, I'm going to take a knife. Normally, I would cut it on an angle about like this. I'm just cutting the whole thing off. I want this to be thick. I'm laying this on heavy. I want it to be a good thick coat. So I'm just cutting that off like that. And then you're gonna pop the inside. There's a little seal in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. You're gonna pop that with your caulk gun. Comes with a little metal thing here. Just stick it in there, break the seal, pop it a couple times, get that in there. Put your caulk in, it's ready to go. We're ready to caulk the C8. So this is going to go on white, but it's going to dry clear. So basically, I just want to get a nice even coat all over the place. I'm going to try to stay within the parameters of the actual black vent so that it won't be too sloppy, but it'll do a good job semi-sealing off, if you will, the water. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, I don't think. I just want to keep it from getting that over splash. And yes, I know some of you are a little bothered already. I'm going to smooth this out. So that's one tube of caulk. I'm going to lick my finger and just kind of spread this about, just getting a nice even surface. I'm probably going to need 2 layers of this. I'm going to do one thick layer here, let this cure, and then we'll do another. I bought 5 tubes of this. I think based on how much coverage I got out of this one, I'm probably only going to need 3 or 4, but better to have it not need it than need it not have it, and I can always return it to Home Depot if I don't use it, or Lowe's, or whichever home improvement store you absolutely love. And I'm gonna do the rest in time lapse, save you guys a little bit of time because this might get a little boring. All right, so it almost looks like you're icing a cake, but I have now covered this rear vent with caulk, and I'm gonna let it cure overnight. This, obviously, guys, as you know, is a hardtop convertible. And for those of you who have the Coupe, which comes with several vents where air is supposed to, or heat is supposed to escape the engine bay, but unfortunately when it rains or when you wash the car, water will get in there. I bet if you did this, covered it with saran wrap, made and plugged your holes with silicone like this, let it cure, now you've got a rubberized material that you can take on and off every time you wash the car. Because I'm gonna put this on and off every time I wash the car. So I'm gonna let this cure overnight. We'll see how it does in the morning and we'll go from there. All right, so this is what it looks like after about 10 hours. It's definitely getting harder, but it's not even close to cure. I'm probably gonna let this sit for about 24 to 36 and we'll see how it goes, but this is the in-between phase. All right, so here we are after about 36 hours, and it is drying and it is solidifying, but it is taking way too damn long, and I would like to drive the car. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to figure out another way to do this. You know, maybe I should have done a little thinner, let it dry, thinner, let it dry, thinner, let it dry, but letting this thick silicone based product dry like this did not work out real well, at least in the short time frame that I'm trying to get it done in. So it's been a couple days now and this is still not curing because it's not curing through the bottom. I guess it's only curing at the top, and so it's basically as if it's in a tube of its own caulk. So the caulk experiment, it was a huge fail. Don't do it. Use the other stuff I used. All right guys, so the silicone that I used was taking a little longer than it should have, so I've decided to move towards these. This is from a company called Smooth On. You can look them up. There's a company called Reynolds Materials that sells the stuff. I've used this for other things, for making just various different plastic parts or silicone molds for things. So I'm going to use this as my mold. It's one part of A and one part of B, A and B for the two. You're going to mix them together at a 1-to-1 ratio, and you're going to pour it and let it sit. I used another thing of saran wrap on the car just to protect that vent. I'm going to pour this in and see how we do. All right, so although it's a bit messy, I have it protected with the saran wrap, so it is a bit drippy. I'm going to let it harden up a bit, and then I'm going to add a little bit more layers, especially to where the black vent arms or vent parts are coming through, and get this thing a little bit thicker. All right, so this is what it looks like now. It is now kind of gooey slash getting hard. It's not quite there yet, but it's solidifying. As it's curing, this will take a little while. Got a few layers of it on there out of my bucket of stuff, painted it on basically. I'm gonna let this cure over the next several hours, then I'll trim it up, and it should be a pretty dense, solid piece of silicone to just literally lay right on it, wash the car, and not worry about any splash up underneath. A few hours later. Hard, dense rubber. Let's see if we can pull this up. That is thick silicone-ish rubber. So I'm still gonna let this cure a little more, but I think we're pretty close to done, if not done. Yeah, and then we'll trim this up and it should be good to go. Just so you get an idea of the consistency of this, this is the bucket that it was in. It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's like silicone, it's rubber. But when it's real thick, it's gonna be dense, and I'll be able to pressure wash the car without it making any mess. All right, so I just want to show you how great this is as far as its stickability. You can literally peel this off by rubbing. It'll come right off the saran wrap. Basically rubber. I mean, you just made rubber. And it's dense, so it'll make a good seal. And again, it doesn't have to be a perfect seal, but it's enough that when you're pressure washing the car, water ain't going to get in there. I don't know if you're going to want to do this. I've worked with this material before for other things, for making molds for like knives or other items and projects, but yeah, I think this is going to be freaking awesome. All right, so it's the next morning, and this thing is dense rubber. It is finished curing. So let's do the unveiling. There you have it. Molded to the bottom. You can even see, I don't know if you can see the kind of indentions from that. So I'm gonna peel this. This should peel right off. And then I'm gonna just trim up the edges so that this thing I can literally take on and on. Just like that. Keep the water from going in underneath the clear engine cover. If you don't have a clear engine cover, then you really don't need this. I mean, it's just gonna maybe leave a couple little water spots on black ABS plastic. So not really necessary, but for what I'm doing with it, this is how I want it. So there you go. I'll show it to you once I clean it up with a razor blade. Let's see. And yes, there's PPF on here, so chill out. I know everybody's like freaking out. What is it doing? It's not being the ruined car. There's PPF on it. Chill out. There. Fits in there perfect. Just like that. Just enough to block that spray. That's all I wanted. Ta-da. Perfect. That's going to do its job perfectly. Alright, so fear not. This is with a hose. I know this is not with a pressure washer. I'm not taking that out right now. I just don't want to do a quick rinse. It ain't getting in there. Even if I foam can it without the pressure washer, I have a pressure washer. But even if I just put some foam on it, it ain't getting in there. There you have it. I'll show you in a second. So I didn't use a pressure washer, but I did hose it off. I mean, yeah, tiny little bit of dripping, which is exactly what I was expecting. But it keeps all that overspray from underspraying under that thing. So I'm excited. And I'm also going to blow it out. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so I got the tonneau open and it is bone dry. Now I'm going to show you, I don't know if you can see, depending on the glare, there's water spots underneath, and that's from before I did this, and that's what I was trying to avoid. But now that I know that it works, I'm going to comfortably take this clear, beautiful engine cover made by James Lloyd. I'm going to take this thing off, and I'm going to just clean out the bottom, and then I don't have to worry about continuing to clean it. Now, there will be dust that gets under there because, again, this is a car, and it goes on the road, and there's dust. So periodically it'll have to be cleaned. Until then, maybe I'll figure out a way to take this thing on and off easier, but for now it's all those T15 screws, and I find them to be rather annoying. So that's what I was trying to avoid. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.